This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
The following presentation on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is being brought to you by Hood Canal Communications, committed to providing quality services that exceed customer expectations in voice, video, data, and customer service, keeping our community connected since 1934. Mason County Public Health and Human Services Prevention Education Partners Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition. Mason PUD 3, connecting our community with safe, reliable, economical, and sustainable services 24/7. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge. Mason County Public Utility District Number 1, Washington State's first public utility district, proudly serving the Hood Canal in Mason County since 1935. And Mason Health, united community, empowered people, exceptional health. Good afternoon and welcome to the Fastpitch field on the North Mason School District campus just west of James A. Taylor High School in Belfair, Washington. Today, Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, continues coverage of high school spring sports with Olympic League Fastpitch softball, featuring the Port Angeles Roughriders and the North Mason Bulldogs. My name is Diedrich Allen, and joining me for this broadcast, although it's not on the sheet, Jerry Apple.
How you doing, Diedrich?
Pretty good. Jerry, thanks for coming up with us to Belfair today.
I look forward to it.
North Mason is 6-3 on the season, 1-2 in the Olympic League. The Bulldogs are coming off Saturday's 13-3 loss at Ellensburg after beating the Bulldogs from Central Washington 10-6 on Friday. Port Angeles has a 9-1 record, 6-0 in league play. The Roughriders are coming off a 5-4 win over Kingston last Thursday, and that went to 8 innings, Jerry, just to throw that out there.
Oh, interesting.
This is the first of 2 games North Mason and Port Angeles will play this season. The Riders have won the last 5 games against the Bulldogs. Last North Mason win over Port Angeles was 11-1 on May 7th, 2019. Coming up, lineups, batting orders, and of course, the first pitch. It's Olympic League Fast Pitch Softball, the Port Angeles Roughriders at the North Mason Bulldogs on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
There's so many great things about life in Mason County, and Hood Canal Communications is proud to be one more. Headquartered in Union, we offer the speed and reliability your family needs, backed by hometown service and support. Whether you need to just check email or power all those Wi-Fi devices around your home, HCC has the right package for you. Stop by one of our friendly offices, call or visit hcc.net to learn more. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected.
Kids learn by watching adults, so consume cannabis out of sight of young people. And be a Mason County kid's greatest influence. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This presentation on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is being brought to you by Mason County Public Utility District Number 1, Washington State's first public utility district, proudly serving the Hood Canal in Mason County since 1935. Hi folks, Diedrich Allen with Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, your source for live high school sports with play-by-play. Once again, Mason Web TV is broadcasting select games every week this school year. Football, basketball, baseball, softball. We bring you all the action, from the kickoff to the final whistle, from the tip-off to the final buzzer, from the first pitch to the last out. Watch how it happens on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC. Business owners, you can get in on the action as well. Go online, email, call, or text right now to find out how.
What is gig speed internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you that it's marathoning movies on your favorite streaming service with no interruptions, or having the grandkids over and not hearing a single complaint about your Wi-Fi. In other words, it's just what you needed. Switch to gig speed internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
And we're back here in Belfair. Diedrich Allen, Jerry Apple behind the microphones here at this beautiful natural turf field. Dirt infield, and of course grass in the outfield. Jerry has the batting lineups and what have you.
Sure. Here we go. For the visitors, under Morgan Worthington, the Port Angeles Raiders leading off, playing the pitcher, Lindsey Reed, number 4. Batting second, the left fielder, number 8, Heidi Lentz. Batting third, the shortstop, number 15, Kennedy Rogland. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 30, Abby Kimball. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 11, Lexi Smith. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 6, Mariah Treban. Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 1, Makia Stevens. Batting eighth will be Ava Ann Sheehan. And batting ninth will be Morgan Politica, the designated hitter. And not batting, but playing will be number 31, the third baseman, Abby Rudd. That's your starters for the Roughriders. And now your starters for North Mason under Steve Valley. Batting first will be the left fielder, number 3, Kennedy Carson. Batting second, the shortstop, Taylor Madison. Batting third, the center fielder, number 12, Jenna Markison. Batting fourth, cleanup, number 16, the catcher, Sydney Imlay. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 20, Aubrey Dunham. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 17, Kaylani Ivy. Kalani, thank you.
Yeah.
Ivy. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 13, Adriana Crowley. Batting eighth, the pitcher, number 1, Addison Roy. And batting ninth, the right fielder, Madeline Smith.
All right, thank you, Jerry. I just have to do some marketing right here if I can get a card out. There we go. I don't know, is this yours or not? Did you lose this, Jerry? Saw a lineup card. I have one over here, so.
Sure.
No, I don't know if it's the right one or not.
You got yours.
But I got mine. It's over here.
Okay.
I don't know. It's over here. No, I don't know, Jerry.
I think the wind loves us.
He always does. Well, if somebody comes looking for a lineup card, I know you have it.
Okay. Sounds
Either
good.
way, lineup cards have been exchanged here at the ball field. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with the first pitch between the Port Angeles Roughriders. Will be wearing the green and black. Or all green, actually. And the Bulldogs are wearing all black. We'll be right back.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
With all the question marks and uncertainty that surrounds today's real estate market, it is nice to know that there is a local team that has the experience with all types of markets to ensure you make a sound decision, whether selling or buying. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has been a staple in the Mason County community for over 40 years. Feel free to reach out to Jeff, Andy, Chrissy, or Laura with any real estate questions that you may have. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
Kids can't tell when food or drinks include cannabis, especially when the package is fun and colorful. Remember to store in a safe place, out of sight and out of reach. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
If you're enjoying this broadcast, please give us a like on your favorite social media. You can use the handle @MasonWebTV to find us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Subscribe and follow Mason Web TV so you never miss anything. There we are. And we're back here waiting for the first pitch, the first official pitch here between North Mason and Port Angeles. The Bulldogs pitcher, Addison Roy, her last outing, I believe that was on Saturday. She pitched inning and 2/3. Gave up 7 earned runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and she faced 13 batters. And that game, that was a 13-3 loss in 5 innings.
Yeah.
Not one of those that go up 13 and then they got 2. It was just kind of like they just got the last couple of runs to hit the 10-run rule there in the 5th, if I remember right.
It's always fun to go to Ellensburg because of the wind. I mean, you think it's interesting in Shelton. It is very windy.
Yeah, I have a story about that, but we're ready to play some ball, so
we'll
talk about that maybe later.
All right.
So leading things off is Lindsay Reed.
Yeah, and number 4, the right fielder. Or do you have
she's actually the pitcher, Jerry.
Well, let's double check on that.
That's what I have over here.
Okay. Anyway, Lindsay steps in.
Yeah, and she was. Let's see, where was she? 0 for 2, walked 3 times, scored a run in their win over Kingston. Pitch on the way. It'll be a strike on the outside corner for 0-1. We apologize, no scoreboard today. I forgot some equipment again. Blame me. So I'll have to just rely on our good old scoreboard here and what I say. So the 0-1, there's a pop fly center field. Marcuson under it. She started in, she took a step back, and that's out number 1. So 1 away for PA.
And now up is number 8, Heidi Leitz.
Yeah.
And I believe she might be the pitcher. We're going to
check. No. I don't know what you're looking at, Jerry. I've got her down here as
I know you do, but we're going
left
to check.
Field. There's a strike on the outside corner again for 0-1.
But she was warming up as a pitcher.
Oh, I think she's a reliever. Yeah, well, just messed up my nice stuff here. But it's down here as...
she has a lot of speed, though.
Next pitch is high, ball 1, 1-1 to count.
And you could be right. I think you probably are.
I think I am. So 1-1 to Miss Leitz. Pitch on the way. It's going to be high for ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on for Port Angeles here. Leading things off for the Riders in the first inning. So Leitz will step back in. Here's the next pitch on the way. Swing, and that was fouled straight back, almost hit the cameras. There's 3 cameras up here, Jerry, and only one of them's ours. So that's 2-2.
And yours is the most stable, right?
I don't know about that, Jerry. If it comes off, it comes off. This system's a lot better than the one I had before.
Good.
So we'll have that. Here's a 2-2 to Leitz. Ground ball scooped up there by Emily. Throw over to first. And Crawley, and that's 2 away. So 2 up, 2 down.
And now up is number 15, your shortstop, Kendi Rogland.
Yeah, and Kennedy was 1 for 2 and drove in a run against Kingston. She'll step in. Face Roy again. Well, first time, I guess, today. 2 out, nobody on. Pitch on the way, swinging a pop fly. It's heading to foul territory out there in right field. It's going to drop in foul. Madeline Smith tried to get to it, just couldn't quite reach it before it dropped foul. So 0-1. What are we looking at here? Okay. There's the next pitch on the way, and a fly ball center field. Marcuson can't get to it. Goes up to the fence. Around second, heading to, or around first, heading to second is Leitz, and there's 1 on in scoring position.
Yeah,
2
stand
out.
up double.
Yeah.
And now up is your cleanup hitter, number 30, the catcher, Abby Kimball.
So I figured out what I'm doing wrong here, Jerry. I guess it'll be fine. All right, Kimball. Abby 0 for 4 against Kingston on Thursday. So 2 out, 1 on. Runner at second base is a pop fly. Again out there to center field. Marcuson under it and grabs it, and that'll retire this side. And that'll do it. And we head to the bottom of the frame. No score from North Mason coming up on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Neighbors help each other. It's how community works, and it's how we do business at Hood Canal Communications. We know you count on us for value-priced internet, TV, and phone service, backed by friendly local support. Your hard-earned dollars stay right here as we invest in our community, our people, and smart technology. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected while being a good neighbor.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD 3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back, wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a downed line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a downed line, call PUD 3 at 360-426-8255.
Okay. We're back here for the bottom of the first inning. North Mason coming up with leadoff batter. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, number 3, the left fielder, Kennedy Carson. And you were absolutely right, Diedrich. Number 4, Lindsey Reed is the pitcher. And I believe you were right also that the number 8, Heidi, will be the reliever if they need one.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so Kennedy Carson is leading things off. And she was 0 for 3 in Saturday's game against at Ellensburg, and I just throw my train of thought off. She took strike 1. You know, I have so little to do compared to past broadcasts here, so I don't know what to do with myself. But the 0-1 to Kennedy Carson. Pitcher is Reed. I don't have any information on the last outing. Next pitch to Carson, a little bit outside, so 1-1 the count. Here's the 1-1 to Carson. Swings, she pops it up, center field. Out there under it is going to be Stevens, and that's out number 1. Now that Micaiah?
Yes.
Okay, Micaiah.
Micaiah Stevens.
Micaiah Stevens. All right, so 1 away. Here's Taylor Madison.
Yeah, Taylor is your shortstop. Does a nice job out there on defense. Number 8, stepping in.
Yeah, and Taylor 1 for 3, knocked in a couple of runs, scored a couple of runs. Took ball 1. First pitch to her. People don't understand that I usually have an iPad here and there and all kinds of weird stuff, and I forgot those. So there's a swing, and that one's fouled off. 1-1 the count.
You had a busy day today trying to get everything accomplished, especially when a meeting runs late for you.
Well, I should learn. Those county commission briefings usually go to 12:30, and this one went to almost 1. I should learn. Here's the 1-1 to Taylor Madison. Swing, and that one's fouled straight back, so 1-2 to Taylor. 1 out, nobody on for North Mason here in the bottom of the first. No score between Port Angeles and the Bulldogs. Jenna Markison on deck. People will be amazed. I've gone to pencil here just to keep order. Here's a pitch on the way. Swing, and that one's fouled off as Taylor Madison's just battling here. Shook her head there. She's a little, come on.
We sure enjoyed watching Taylor play basketball, too.
Oh, yeah. Sophomore. Here's the 1-2 to Madison. 1 out, nobody on for the Bulldogs. Pitch on the way. It's going to be outside and away. Ball 2, so 2-2.
One of the things I like about Taylor, she plays with a lot of spirit.
Oh, yeah. Digs in, waits for the 2-2 from Reed. Swings and pops one up, out of play over everybody's head. Just got to remember to look up. Never know when they're coming down, Jerry. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on for North Mason here. Bottom of the first inning, no score.
I didn't bring my glove to protect you.
Yeah, or your hat. You don't need your hat, really.
Yeah, today I think we're okay.
I hope so. Here's the 2-2. Just a bit high. Count goes full to Taylor Madison. Interesting that I've noticed a lot more this year is players trying to manipulate the count by kind of ducking. I haven't seen that before in the past, or that much. Here's a pitch on the way, swing, another foul, straight back. And the count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes for Taylor Madison. Getting nobody on and 1 out. The other thing I forgot, Jerry, just to throw it out there, is another layer. I didn't grab a coat or a sweater or anything. It'll be all right, right?
There's a lot of art to try to influence the call.
Yeah, there's another swing and a foul off. Boy, she keeps battling, keeps swinging.
Well, she sure is.
Yeah. This is when I think that if she does walk, comes out as a at bat. I just think it should, and I know Darryl White did explain to me that's not on the batter, it's on the pitcher. Mm-hmm. So, pitch on the way, and there's a ball 4.
And the patience paid off for Taylor, and she's on first base. And now up is number 12, your third hitter, the center fielder, Jenna Markison.
Yeah, Jenna had a decent game against Ellensburg, 1 for 2, a home run, 2 RBIs, and scored a couple of runs.
Yeah, made a couple of nice catches out there in the outfield in the first inning.
Yeah, a lot of the balls are going her way. So she'll step in, wait for the first pitch with 1 on and 1 out. Taylor Madison over at first base. Here's a pitch on the way outside. And Abby Kimball is looking to throw it to first, but Madison got back. Interesting, Taylor took off 1 glove and has 1 glove on. It's interesting. Over there at first base. So here's the 1-0 to Markison. Runner goes, no throw, and Taylor Madison makes her way over to second base. So
has a stolen base.
Yeah, and a runner in scoring position. Now she takes off the other glove and puts it in her pocket. That's very interesting. She took off 1. So still 1 out, 1 on. Runner at second base now. 1-1 the count to Jenna Markison. Here comes a pitch from Reed. High ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 2-1 to Jenna Markison. From Lindsay Reed. Pitch on the way, swing, and that one's fouled off. So the count goes full at 2, or I'm sorry, goes to even at 2-2. I'm just all off today, Jerry, from the get-go. And I had to park up by the high school, Jerry. All the parking places here at the James A. Taylor were full or blocked off. So here's the 2-2 to Markison. It's going to be high for ball 3, so now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on. Taylor Madison at second base. Here's pitch on the way. Another ball, so there's back-to-back walks here as the Bulldogs have runners at first and second now.
And now up is your cleanup hitter. And this is Sydney Imley, your catcher, number 16.
And Sydney, 2 for 3, a double and an RBI against Ellensburg on Saturday. Pitch on the way. Could be high for ball 1. Runner goes, and oh my.
Uh-oh.
Taylor's in a little bit of rundown, trying to get somebody to tag her out. Ball throws a little over the second baseman, and Taylor just stands there. She didn't realize the ball had gotten into right field just a little bit. And Markison also wanted to run, but she had nowhere to go. So Taylor Madison's just dusting some dirt off her uniform. She's already got it covered in dirt.
I was watching her dad shaking his head.
So runners at first and second for the Bulldogs. Madison's at second. Markison is at first. And Imlay has 1 ball and no strikes. Second pitch to her. It's going to be a ball.
Yeah, you notice how the batters are ducking down
a little bit more today than I have seen most of the season. We've done a few games this year. So 2 balls, no strikes to Sydney Imlay. 1 out, 2 on. Runners again at first and second. Here's a pitch on the way. There's a strike at the shoulders of Sydney Imlay. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. So Sydney will step back in. Next pitch on the way, that's going to be low for ball 3, so 3-1. Taylor Madison at second, and Jenna Markison at first. Pitch on the way. Strike 2 called. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on. Again, runners at first and second for North Mason. Here's the full count pitch to Sydney Imlay. She pops it up high. Left field, coming down and getting it. It's going to be Heidi Litz, and it's going to be 2 away. So 2 out, 2 on, and here comes Aubrey Dunham.
Yeah,
Is that right?
The designated hitter, number 20.
And Aubrey, 1 for 1 against Ellensburg on Saturday. Here's the first pitch to Dunham with 2 on and 2 out. Outside, ball 1. Jenna Markison at first. Taylor Madison at second. Pitch on the way. Outside. Oh, ball gets away from the catcher. Madison heads to third and Markison to second.
Now we have 2 runners in scoring position.
And Aubrey Dunham has an 2-0 count, 2 balls and no strikes. 2 out, 2 on. No score as of yet. Bottom of the first. Here's the pitch on the way. It's going to be high for ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes to Aubrey Dunham.
And she'll probably be taking it unless it's a really good pitch.
Jerry says she's taking. Okay, we'll go with that. 3 balls, no strikes. 2 out, 2 on. Pitch on the way. There's a strike. And Jerry was right. She let it come in. So 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 out, 1 on. I'm sorry, 2 on. Where's the 1 come from? First inning, that's where the 1 comes from. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here it comes to Dunham. That's going to be ball 4, and ball gets away from the catcher. And coming in to score is going to be Taylor Madison. 1 in.
And we're probably going to have a designated runner, or not?
That'd be a courtesy runner.
A courtesy runner, yeah.
And here's Kalani Ivy, Jerry.
Okay, and she's playing third base, number 17.
Yeah, 0 for 3 against Ellensburg.
Okay.
Runners at the corners for the North Mason. They're up 1-0 as 1 is in. Taylor Madison is in. Jenna Markison is at third base. And Aubrey Dunham is at first. And Kalani Ivy is the batter. First pitch to Kalani is a bit high for ball 1. So again, you have runners at the corners. Markison at third, Dunham at first. Ivy in the batter's box. Here's the next pitch. It's going to be high for ball 2. So 2-0 to Kalani Ivy.
I like that name, Kalani.
Kalani, yeah.
That's neat. Nice thing.
Here's the next pitch on the way. Oh, a strike at the shoulders. Found the location, did Reed. And it's going to be 2-1 on the count. 2 out, 2 on, 1 in. Jenna Markison at third, Aubrey Dunham at first, and that one's going to be fouled off. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kalani Ivy. So 3 walks in the inning, Jerry.
Yeah, they've had, so far they've had, 3 walks.
Just trying to make a mark on my old school stuff here. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 called, and that's going to be out number 2. So 2 away. Is that 3? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is 3. Okay. Thanks, Jerry. Keeping me honest, right? Keeping me on the ball. Thank you. 1-0 North Mason. Port Angeles coming up, heading to the second.
What is fiber internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you it's just internet. Internet that can do whatever you need. Crystal clear video chats with the family, smooth streaming of your favorite shows, uploading a ton of vacation photos in an instant. Even all of the above, all at once. Switch to fiber internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months of gig speed service. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
Kids can't tell when food or drinks include cannabis, especially when the package is fun and colorful. Remember to store in a safe place, out of sight and out of reach. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
And we are back for the second inning of play. Jerry's keeping me straight here, as he always does.
It's usually the other way around.
I don't think so. Not today, obviously. So 1-0. North Mason gets the 1-run lead.
And now stepping in for Port Angeles here to the top of the second is the first baseman, number 11, Alexi Smith.
She pops the first one up into foul territory and drops in foul.
And Sydney Emily making a nice attempt there, but just couldn't quite get to it.
Yeah. So Lexi Smith will step back in. Remember her in basketball. Had quite a game.
Yes, I do.
Layoff game. There's the next pitch on the way. It hit the outside corner for for strike two. So 0-2 to Lexi Smith.
That was quite a combination, the two Smith girls.
Yeah. Here's the 0-2 to Lexi Smith. Swings, pops it up infield. Crowley under it and first base and gets it. Full out, number 1.
She was having to shield the glove over her eyes a little bit because of the sun.
Yeah.
Okay, and now up is number 6, the second baseman, Mariah Treban.
And Mariah, 1 for 3, a walk and scored a run. Swung and missed the first one. So 1 out and nobody on for Port Angeles. And an 0-1 to Treband. Next pitch on the way. Swing and a foul ball, a line drive foul ball at the third base line. So 0-2. There's the sun to warm me up a little bit, Jerry.
Yeah.
And Jerry's wishing he brought his hat now.
Yep.
The 0-2 to Treband. Here's a pitch on the way. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on.
Temperature is about 58.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Here's 1-2 from Roy. It's going to be low, makes it 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 strikes to Mariah Treband. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch on the way, or the next pitch on the way is a swing and a miss. And 2 down now.
And now up is your center fielder, number 1, Makia Stevens.
And Makia, 1 for 3, a double and an RBI against Kingston. Pitch on the way, swing and popped it up. Playable. Roy under it. Nope, they'll wave it off. Taylor comes in and retires the side. She just grabbed it, handed it to her, and that's it for Port Angeles in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the frame. 1-0 North Mason on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back. Wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a down line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a down line, call PUD3 at 360-426-8255.
Hi folks, Diedrich Allen with Mason Web TV powered by HCC, your source for live high school sports with play-by-play. Once again, Mason Web TV is broadcasting select games every week this school year. Football, basketball, baseball, softball. We bring you all the action, from the kickoff to the final whistle, from the tip-off to the final buzzer, from the first pitch to the last out. Watch how it happens on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC. Business owners, you can get in on the action as well. Go online, email, call, or text right now to find out how.
Back for the bottom of the second inning. Go ahead, Jerry.
And leading off for the Bulldogs will be number 13, the first baseman, Adriana Crowley.
Adriana 1 for 2 against Ellensburg on Saturday. First pitch to her is a swing and a line drive, ground ball right into a shallow left field. Crowley turns first and wants to head to second, but holds up there, so 1 on.
First hit for the Bulldogs. And now up is your pitcher, number 1, Addison Roy. And she's pitching a one-hitter so far.
And Addison was 0 for 1 and walked once against Ellensburg on Saturday. First pitch to her from Reed, shows bunt, pulls it, both swung at it, missed it. And nice job by Kimball getting Crowley back to first base. So it's strike 1 to Roy. So step back in. Here's next pitch on the way. It's going to be in the dirt. Crowley goes, and it's going to steal over there at second base. So Adriana Crowley's in scoring position at second base, and Addison Roy has a 1-1 count. Nobody out, 1 on.
Second steal for the Bulldogs.
Here's the 1-1. Shows bunt again. She gets contact, but it goes foul. So 1-2 the count to Addison Roy.
And now she'll be swinging away.
Well, that's what Jerry says.
Well, you're not going to try to bunt on the third. You got 2 strikes, I don't think.
Hey, you take a ball.
Well, yeah.
You
could.
Good, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, 1 on. Adriana Crowley at second base. There's a swing and a miss. Jerry was right, and down goes Roy for out number 1.
And now up is number 9, the right fielder, Madeline Smith.
And Madeline, well, she did not bat on Saturday. She did play. Takes a ball inside.
She probably played a little bit on Friday.
Yeah, I didn't go that far back, sorry. And I don't have that stuff in front of me, so I can't look. So 1 ball, no strikes to Madeline Smith. She takes ball 2. Again, Adriana Crowley is at second base. 1 out for North Mason here. Bottom of the second. The Bulldogs are leading 1-0. Right into her windup. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball. It's going to be scooped up there by the shortstop. Throw to first for the out. But Crowley makes her way over to third base. And Smith is out.
And now up is your leadoff hitter for the North Mason, number 3, the left fielder, Kennedy Carson. And she flew out to center field back in the first inning.
So Kennedy will step in. 2 out, 1 on. Adriana Crowley's at third base. First pitch to Kennedy. Inside for a strike. So 0-1 to Kennedy Carson. 1-0 ball game, bottom of the second inning. North Mason with that lead and at bat with 2 out. Swing and a miss. Well, actually, it's going to be foul tipped straight back. So 0-2 to Kennedy Carson.
And Adriana Crowley is trying to tell her, hey, bring me in.
Yeah. Forgot about the dust until the last game I did here, the dust from the field.
Yeah, I know.
Going to wipe everything down when we're done. There's a swing and a ground ball that goes foul up the third base line. Just foul. Hit the line and really hooked, Jerry. But it's still no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's hard to bring anything over to water, isn't it?
Well, I think they probably have something nearby, but you don't want to make it too wet.
Yeah.
Don't want a mud bowl out there.
No.
Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a line drive is going to be missed by the shortstop. Crowley comes in to score, and Carson is on first base. So it makes it 2-0. I don't know what you're going to do there, Jerry. I'm going to say this. I would give her a hit on that one. That's me, but you're the scorer.
Well, she did have to move, and she did have to use the
backhand.
So I'm going to give her a single also.
Okay. All right, that works for me. So 1 in, 1 on.
Yeah, and now up is Taylor Madison, and Taylor scored the first run for the Bulldogs, and she got on by way of a walk and then stole second base.
So here's the first pitch to Madison. She'll foul it off the screen. So 0-1, 1 in, 2 out, 1 on. Kennedy Carson's at first base for North Mason. Leading 2-0 here, bottom of the second inning. Taylor Madison digs in, waits for the 0-1 from Reed. Inside low, ball one throw to first. It gets through the legs of the first baseman, and Kennedy was distracted about getting back to the bag and didn't know whether she should have taken off or not.
She was wise not to.
Yeah, because they got to it pretty quickly.
And I think the coach said, hey, hold up.
So 1 ball, 1 strike to Taylor Madison. She steps back in. Kennedy Carson over there at first base. 1 in, 2 out in a 2-0 ball game. Here's the pitch from Reed. That one's a check swing that goes foul. I don't think that Taylor really wanted to swing at that one.
No.
But it hit her bat and went foul. So it's 1 and 2.
Well, I think she was protecting too.
So 2 out, 1 on, 1 in. Kennedy Carson over first base. Taylor Madison is the batter. Next pitch is popped up. Coming down, and the shortstop will glove it, and that'll do it for North Mason here in the inning, but they do add 1 on. They now lead 2-0, heading to third. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
With all the question marks and uncertainty that surrounds today's real estate market, it is nice to know that there is a local team that has the experience with all types of markets to ensure you make a sound decision, whether selling or buying. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has been a staple in the Mason County community for over 40 years. Feel free to reach out to Jeff, Andy, Chrissy, or Laura with any real estate questions that you may have. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
Kids learn by watching adults, so consume cannabis out of sight of young people. And be a Mason County kid's greatest influence. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
If you're enjoying this broadcast, please give us a like on your favorite social media. You can use the handle @MasonWebTV to find us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Subscribe and follow Mason Web TV so you never miss anything.
And we head to the third inning. Jerry.
Yeah, for North Mason, they had 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. And now up for Port Angeles is Ava Anna Sheehan.
Oh. And she bunts the first one. It's picked up there. And a throw from third base to first a little bit late. So it's 1 on.
Let's give her a single. And now up is Morgan Politica, designated hitter, number 13.
Morgan was 2 for 4 and scored a run against Kingston on Thursday. So 1 on and nobody out. Pitch on the way. Ava Ann over there at first base. Morgan Politica, the batter, has 1 ball, shows bunt, pitch on the way, miss it, runner goes, throw to second, and she's safe. So she ends over at second base now.
Yeah, she had a good jump on that, though. It was hard to throw her out. Nice throw by the catcher, though.
Yeah. Be Cheyenne Imlay, the catcher. So 1-1 is the count to Politica. Runner in scoring position at second base. Pitch on the way. Swinging. It popped up over everybody's head out of play. So 1-2 to Politica. Guess all these games that we've done, Jerry, I need to have something in my hands.
Yeah. Another basketball player for Port Angeles.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a relatively small school. Here's the 1-2. Swinging another foul out of play. Nice play out there on the berm behind us.
Yep.
Still
Good turn.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out and 1 on. As you got Sheehan over there at second base. Here's the 1-2 to Politica from Roy. Swing, and it's popped up. That is playable. Nope, not quite. That's the first time I've seen a ball come down that close to where we could have been.
Yeah, it just comes straight down.
Yeah, wow. So the count remains 1 ball and 2.
So it can happen.
Yeah, I guess it can. Well, actually, I think it would have hit me if it came down here at the angle that I saw it drop. So, yeah.
I'll move over closer this way.
Yeah, sure. Maybe I need a helmet. Here's a 1-2. It's going to be ball 2, 2 and 1. Just saying. It's a good thing I stood up, too. Gotta be moving. Here's a 2-2 to Politica. It's going to be ball 3, so the count is full to Morgan Politica. Again, Ava Ann Sheehan over at second base. Nobody out. Yeah, nobody out. In a 2-0 ball game, North Mason with a lead. Port Angeles trying to get something going here in the third. Another couple of balls for a home plate umpire. So the count is full to Morgan Politica. She'll step back in, wait for the next pitch from Addison Roy. She'll pop it up. Over there, shallow left field, drops in, base hit. Sheehan to third base and Politica to first. So runners at the corners.
Yeah.
Nobody out.
And now up is number 4, and this is Lindsay Reed, the pitcher, and she flew out to center field back in the first.
Top of the order.
Yep, top of the order.
Nobody out. Runners at the corners for Port Angeles. Politica at first base. Sheehan at third. Runner goes. Politica heads to second base.
And it was good to hold up that throw.
Yeah, it was a very good idea just to keep it there. Good job by Imlay. Cheyenne Imlay. If she had thrown it to second, chances are
yeah, they would
Sheehan would have came home. Here's the 1-0. That's going to be 2-0 to Reed. Lindsay Reed. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out, 2 on. Runners at second and third for Port Angeles. Trailing 2-0 here, top of the third inning. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a fly ball. That's going to go foul out of play off the third base line. So the count goes even at 2-2. So nobody out, 2 on for Port Angeles. Lindsay Reed's the batter with a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Fly ball. Taylor Madison grabbed it out of the air. Had to get around the runner. There's 1 out.
And now up is number 8, Heidi Lentz, the right fielder. She grounded out to the second baseman back in the first. Yeah, let's see what the...
I'm thinking they're going to something about interference here because Politica did kind of get in the way, but Taylor Madison was able to get the out. I'm thinking there might be calling that, or maybe somebody left a little early. I don't know.
Either one of those is what I'm thinking. Yeah.
But this the umpires who are talking. Coaches are not involved in this play. Okay, so they're calling interference, but the batter is going to first base. The player at third base, which is Sheehan, she's out. So I don't know how you're going to score that one, Jerry. But it was a fly ball. That should be out. So that should be.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, interference is a call, so the runner at third would be out. That's for sure. But I don't think that the runner should be at first base because it was a fly out.
No, there should be no runner on first.
Right. So it should be the end of the inning if they're calling interference. But they did record the out before. So it'd be 2 outs.
Yeah, it'd be two outs.
Right. Should be 2 outs, right? If he stays with his original call, at least the interference call, and third runner at third is out. I don't know why the runner at third would be out. Wouldn't it be the runner who interfered be out?
The person on second should be out.
Right.
Now.
And that should be the second out in the inning, as the ball was caught.
But it doesn't make sense
to put a runner at first.
That the runner on first is there.
I think we've figured it out, but they have to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
The runner at second out, the batter is out, so that's 2 out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That's a good call. She was interfering.
So there's a fly ball, so there should be 2 out. Boy, this is.
But I still don't understand.
They recorded the out. Either way, there was interference, but we know that the fly ball was caught. That is not an argument. They're going to call interference on the runner at second.
There should only be a runner on third. Doesn't make sense.
To have runners at the corners?
It doesn't make sense. She should be out.
No, Coach Fowley's going to get this explained to him, but there should be 2 out. I don't know if we can hear what they're talking about. Well, why? Okay, so they're going to leave the runner at first. And
okay.
It's only 1 out. Well, okay, Jerry, I don't know what that.
And I'll give it as a fielder's choice.
Well, that's for sure, but that's a fly ball. There should be nobody on first base.
Okay, and now up is number 8.
I thought 8 was on.
Is Heidi Litz, and she grounded out to the second baseman.
Chose bunt. And it's high.
Well,
so there's a courtesy runner out there at second base in number 14, Jerry. That's Sophia Ritchie. I don't understand this at all.
I don't either.
I have to get this one explained to us. Here's the next pitch. It's going to be fouled off. So Port Angeles has 1 out, 2 on, runners at second and third. So Ritchie's at third, and
all the baseball that I played, I just don't.
Ritchie's at second. Sheehan is at third, and there's only 1 out, but there should be 2. Here's a pitch on the way, 1-1. There's a ground ball, little dribbler, scooped up there. Throw to 1 for the out there. Run comes in to score. As Sheehan comes in to score, making it 2-1. That should be the inning, in my opinion, but there's an out at first, so 2 down.
But Anna Sheehan scored?
Yes.
Okay, and now up is number 15, the shortstop, Kendi Rogland. And she got a double back in the first, but was stranded at second.
And she takes ball 1. So 1 in for Port Angeles. 1 on, runner at third base is Sophia Ritchie. And Rogland is the batter. Pitch on the way. Swinging a ground ball right back to Roy. She'll throw over to first. That ball went by the first baseman in Crowley. And one other run comes in to score, and that's tied at 2. So 2-2 with 2 out now. And a runner at first and 2 in. Third inning. And here's Kimball. Abby Kimball, the catcher.
Yeah, and she flew out to center field back in the first inning for the 3rd out.
So 2 out, 2 in. Swing and a ground ball that's going to go foul up the third base line. So Rogland's got to head back to first base. Some speed out there. She was practically the second. There's Kennedy Rogland. As Kimball digs in, takes strike 1. Or strike, is that strike 2? Excuse me. It's called strike. I got this out of order here, Jerry.
And Abby Kimball, of course, is your cleanup hitter.
Next pitch on the way, swinging a pop-up. That is in foul territory, heading down. right up against the dugout there. Crawley couldn't get to it. Got some action going on in the bullpen over there, Jerry. For
Did it
Port
hit
Angel.
the dugout?
No, it didn't.
It
It
just
dropped.
dropped
It just was
further.
right down the wall there, and that's what.
I think
threw.
she was intimidated by that wall.
Yeah, well, I would be too. Got to be aware. So here's the 1-2 to Kimball. Swing and a miss, and a throw over the first to guarantee the out, and that'll end the inning. But the Roughriders even things up at 2. So it's 2-2. Head to the bottom of the frame. North Mason coming up on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD 3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back. Wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a downed line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a downed line, call PUD 3 at 360-426-8255.
What is fiber internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you it's just internet. Internet that can do whatever you need. Crystal clear video chats with the family, smooth streaming of your favorite shows, uploading a ton of vacation photos in an instant. Even all of the above, all at once. Switch to fiber internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months of gig speed service. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
So we're back here for the bottom of the third inning, 2-2 ball game. Port Angeles and North Mason. The Bulldogs are coming up to bat.
Yeah, and leading off for North Mason will be number 12, Jenna Markison. And she got on by way of a walk and was stranded on second base, or third base.
Third base, yeah. Just thinking she scored, but no, she didn't quite get there.
Yeah, that's right.
So Lindsay Reed still in the pitching circle for Port Angeles. I thought there was going to be a change because there was some activity in the bullpen warming up, but Reed is still there. I don't see any other change that I can notice.
Okay.
Without my cheat stuff, I don't know. So first pitch to Markison is high for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. 1 ball, not 2. There you go. It's like she's listening to me over there. Whoever's doing the score. I know it's a button. I do that all the time. Here's the next pitch has popped up out of play over everybody's head. So 1-1 the count to Jenna Markison. Leading things off for North Mason here in the third inning, bottom of the third in a 2-2 ball game. Here's a 1-1. Dropped in there. I thought that was a good strike, but it just came in a little low for ball 2.
A little low, yeah.
It just dropped in. Just dropped in at the last second for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Jenna Markison. Here's a pitch on the way. It's going to be high for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Jenna Markison. Leading things off for North Mason here in the third inning in a 2-2 ball game. Still trying to figure out that
I am
last
too.
half
I am
inning.
too.
Here's the next pitch on the way. It's going to be high for ball 3 or 4, excuse me. And that'll be a leadoff walk. So Jenna Markison back on first base via walk.
And now up is number 16, the catcher, Sydney Emily. And she flew out to the left fielder back in the first.
So Sydney will step in with Jenna Markison at first base. Nobody out for North Mason. Feels a little bit like the first inning, Jerry. Pitch on the way, swing. It's going to be a strike called with a runner at first. I put that in the wrong box. That's right. Here's the next pitch on the way. There's a fly ball. Going to drop into center field for a base hit. Markison around second, heading to third. Throw to third. They got her. But on the play, Imlay makes her way to second base. So 1 out, and Sydney Imlay is on second base for the Bulldogs.
And now up is number 20, the designated hitter, Aubrey Dunham. And she got on by way of a walk And the pitcher has thrown 4 walks so far. Yeah, it's unfortunate she went on that one.
And we're going to have a courtesy runner for Imlay. And I believe that is going to be, I think it's number 14, Charlie Brown. So Charlie Brown's on second base. Make a note there. That's assuming that her sweater is, with the number on it, is accurate. Sometimes they change or they share things. We don't know.
Somebody else's coat?
Yeah, but I think it is going to be Charlie Brown. It's usually the person they come in. There is the first pitch to Dunham is a strike. So 0-1 to Aubrey Dunham.
Been an exciting game so far. 2-2, close.
2-2, third inning.
Like it.
1 out, 1 on. 0-1 to Dunham. Here's a pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Well, she got a little piece of that one. So 0-2. The only reason I know that is not just because the home plate umpire did the little deflected thing, but I heard it. So 0-2 to Aubrey Dunham with 1 out, 1 on. Pitch on the way. It's going to be high for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Charlie Brown out there at second base.
I like that name.
Charlie Brown. Nonchalant, she walks back to the bag. Here's a pitch on the way. It's going to be ball 3, so 1-3. That was a ball. That should have been 1-3. That was no doubt a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Dunham. No, he says it's 2-2. I thought it was, is you, Jerry? I think that counts wrong, but it's 2-2. We'll go with it. Here's a pitch on the way. Swing, and that one's going to be fouled off. So the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a 2-2 to Dunham. Going to be high ball 3, so 3-2 the count to Aubrey Dunham. 1 out and 1 on. Charlie Brown at second base for North Mason. A 2-2 game. Swing and a fly ball that's going to go foul over the third base dugout. Well, it's not really dugout, is it, Jerry? It's just kind of there. Third base cover, is that the right way to say it?
You give it a dugout.
Well, it's not really dugout of anything, but that's all right. So the count remains full at 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. There's another walk for Dunham.
Yeah, her second walk, yeah.
So runners at first and second. And Charlie Brown, the throw over, she's going to come in and score. I didn't even notice that, Jerry. There was some throwing error, and Brown comes in to score. And that makes it 3-2. With Dunham at first base and Brown in.
And that's the first error of the ball game.
So here's Kaylani Ivy, the batter. We're going to get a pitching change here, Jerry, as Reed's afternoon is done, and coming in it's going to be number 8 for Heidi Lights.
I watched number 8 throw it in warm-up, and she impressed me.
She did go 8 innings against Kingston. 4 runs, 2 earned, 8 hits, 2 walks, 14 strikeouts, Jerry. 14
She's
strikeouts.
fast. She throws.
So she'll take over for Reed in the pitching circle. We'll take a short timeout. Be back in a 3-2 ball game with 1 out and 1 on and 1 in for North Mason.
Kids can't tell when food or drinks include cannabis, especially when the package is fun and colorful. Remember to store in a safe place, out of sight and out of reach. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This presentation on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is being brought to you by Mason County Public Utility District Number 1, Washington State's first public utility district, proudly serving the Hood Canal in Mason County since 1935.
And we come back here. New pitcher for Port Angeles.
And I'm sure you said it, but Sydney Emily was the one that scored that 3rd run.
It was Charlie Brown, actually, Jerry.
Charlie for Sydney.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction. Charlie Brown. And now up is number 17, Kalani Ivy. She is 0 for 1.
Well, as soon as
The third
Leeds
baseman.
gets in, and so we have, okay, Politica is now at shortstop.
Okay.
I know there's got to be another change out there somewhere. All right, we'll have to update all that. This Politica actually came in the last half inning, I believe. Might have been wrong. All right, so here is the first pitch to Ivy. Takes strike 1.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Oh. 14 strikeouts?
14 strikeouts in 8 innings of play. Here's the 0-1 to Ivy. Strike 2 called. Wow.
Hit that outside corner again.
With a lot of speed. Again, Aubrey Dunham's over at first base. 1 out, 1 on, 1 in. Pitch on the way. There's strike 3. There's 2 outs as Ivy goes down looking.
And now up is number 13, the first baseman, Adriana Crowley. And Adriana scored the second run for North Mason. She's 1 for 1 with a single.
And the first pitch to Crowley from the lefty is going to be low and ball 1. Again, you've got Aubrey Dunham over at first base. 2 out, 1 on, 1 in for North Mason, leading to 3-2 here, bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's the 1-0. Another fastball. That's a strike on the outside corner. And right at the knees, so 1-1 the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, 1 on, 1 in for North Mason here, leading 3-2. Pitch on the way. Just a bit outside for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Adriana Crowley. Here comes the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Evens things out at 2-2.
She changed up the speed a little bit there on that one.
So Adriana Crawley will step back in with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 1 on, 1 in for North Mason here, bottom of the 3rd. Pitch on the way. Outside ball gets away, and Dunham's going to motor her way over to second. Not a lot of speed over there for Dunham.
No.
But then they going to be a full count to Adriana Crawley. So Dunham got a little cheer from her teammates as she made her way over to second base. Still recovering from that knee injury.
Yeah, she'll be running now on this 3-2 count.
So here's the 3-2 to Crawley. Swing and a miss, and Adriana goes down swinging. So that'll end the inning. So the Bulldogs do get 1. They now lead 3-2, head to the 4th on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
With all the question marks and uncertainty that surrounds today's real estate market, it is nice to know that there is a local team that has the experience with all types of markets to ensure you make a sound decision, whether selling or buying. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has been a staple in the Mason County community for over 40 years. Feel free to reach out to Jeff, Andy, Chrissy, or Laura with any real estate questions that you may have. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
Neighbors help each other. It's how community works, and it's how we do business at Hood Canal Communications. We know you count on us for value-priced internet, TV, and phone service, backed by friendly local support. Your hard-earned dollars stay right here as we invest in our community, our people, and smart technology. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected while being a good neighbor.
And we're back for the 4th inning, right, Jerry?
Yes.
Yeah, top of the 4th.
In the bottom of the 3rd, North Mason had 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base, and there were 2 walks. And now up is number 11, Lexi Smith, the first baseman. She is 0 for 1, flew out to the first baseman.
All right. Roy still in the pitching circle for North Mason. First pitch to Lexi Smith is a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes to the leadoff batter for Port Angeles here, trailing 3-2. Stands pretty forward in that. On a line drive, oh boy, to Imlay. She dropped it. Throw to Crowley at first, and that's the out. So 1 away. So Cheyenne Imlay just popped that right to the ground out of her glove. She wisely picked it up and threw it over to Crowley at first for the out.
She had plenty of time.
Yeah.
And number 6 now, the second baseman, Mariah Trayman, and she struck out back in the second.
Swings and pops one up. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Oh, boy. I almost jinxed that one as Jenna Markinson almost made. Oh, boy. And Triban rolls over to third base speedily and just the ball. The ball came out of the glove.
Yeah.
Of
and it looked
Ivy.
like she was under the
Well, the ball came out. If the ball comes into third in time, but if the ball didn't pop out,
okay, so
they would have got her.
Oh, they would have. Okay.
But,
okay.
Triban's on third base. And here is Micaiah Stevens.
Yes, and she flew out to the shortstop back in the second inning.
Ground ball right to Dunham. Dunham throws home, and coming in to score is going to be Triban to tie the ball game at 3. Beat out the throw, and Stevens is at first base.
Yeah. Okay, and now Anna Sheehan is up, and she had a single and scored the first run for Port Angeles back in the third.
And ball ricochets off of a couple of helmets, goes foul. So 1 on, 1 in, tie ball game at 3. 1 out for Port Angeles. And Sheehan shows bunt and makes it pick, hits it foul at the third base line. Stevens made it over to the second base, Jerry, but wow. So 0-2 the count to number 21. Sheehan. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. And that will be a strikeout. So 2 away now.
And now up is number 13, the designated hitter, Morgan Politica. And she had a single back in the third and scored the second run for the Roughriders.
Everything's really messed up. There's a ground ball into left field. And Politica holds up at second base because Stevens held up at Politica holds up at first base because Stevens held up at second base. That's what I'm trying to say. So 2 on and 2 out.
Yeah, Morgan was 2 for 2 now. It's 2 for 2. And now up is Lindsay Reed. And she is 0 for 2.
First pitch to her is a pop-up. That's playable. Madison out there to get it in the grass in left field, and that'll end the inning. But the Roughriders even things up. It's 3-3. We head to the bottom of the frame. North Mason coming to bat. It's Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Hi folks, Diedrich Allen with Mason Web TV powered by HCC, your source for live high school sports with play-by-play. Once again, Mason Web TV is broadcasting select games every week this school year. Football, basketball, baseball, softball. We bring you all the action, from the kickoff to the final whistle, from the tip-off to the final buzzer, from the first pitch to the last out. Watch how it happens on Mason Web TV powered by HCC. Business owners, you can get in on the action as well. Go online, email, call, or text right now to find out how.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
And we're back for the bottom of the fourth inning, 3-3 ball game.
Yeah, and back for Port Anderson, the top of the fourth, they had 1 run on 3 hits, 1 left on base, no errors. And now leading off is your pitcher for North Mason, Addison Roy, and she is 0 for 1.
There is the first pitch to Roy. Swings and fouls that one off with some speed off the first base dugout, off the roof of the first base dugout. 0-1.
And most of these hitters for North Mason are swinging late now.
Zalitz is in the pitching circle. Here's the 0-1. It's going to be high for ball 1. Kind of lost that one slipped out of her hand, I think, Jerry. So 1-1 to count. I'm going to have to update some things here. Oh. Next pitch on the way is a swing and a miss, and 1-2 is the count. Trying to see who's out there in left field, Jerry. Can you see what the number is out there? Your uniform's a little dirty.
Yeah, I can't quite catch it.
Yeah, I can't quite hear it. So. Here's the 1-2 to Roy. That one gets away from the catcher, Kimball, but nobody on. So lead off batter. All right. Here's the next pitch on the way. It's going to be high for ball 3, so the count goes full for Addison Roy.
Yeah.
Leadoff batter for North Mason here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 3-3 is our score. Still need to fix some of those lights out there on that scoreboard, don't they, Jerry?
Yeah, it's, number 9, Madeline Smith. And she's 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop, back into second. That's the 3rd strikeout in a row for the pitcher.
1 out, nobody on for North Mason. 3-3 ball game. There's a strike.
A nice pitch.
To Madeline Smith. She'll step back in. Here's the 0-1. For Leitz. It's going to be strike at the shoulders. A little delayed call there. So 0-2.
Yeah, Heidi Lentz is probably throwing, like the coach said, her coach, in the low 60s.
So
that's good.
And she's a lefty, which makes it even more difficult sometimes. Here's a pitch and a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, 4 in a row, though, from the last inning, too. Okay, now up is your leadoff hitter for North Mason. This is Kennedy Carson, and she is 1 for 2. Got a single back in the second.
She'll step in. Fates, let's again. Here's the first pitch to her. There's a strike at the knees. Wow. So 0-1 in a 3-3 ball game. Bottom of the fourth. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a... Well, that one went foul. You know if she was holding up and hit the bat or not, Jerry, but it's 0-2 on the count to Kennedy Carson.
Sounded like, looked like she was holding up, but yeah.
Made connection.
I wouldn't want to face her.
Neither would I. Here's the 0-2 to Kennedy Carson. 2 out, nobody on for the Bulldogs here in the fourth. That's going to be ball 1, just a bit high. Heidi was a little upset with her pitch on that one, Jerry. Just kind of gave a little cock of the head, like, didn't like that pitch. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kennedy Carson. 2 out, nobody on. Here it comes. Swing, and that one's fouled high off the top of the screen, but it's still 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kennedy Carson. Maybe figuring it out, you think? Make some contact?
No, they're swinging late.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
2 out, nobody on for North Mason here. Bottom of the fourth. Tie ball game at 3.
I would hope so, but.
Pitch on the way. And strike 3 called, and 1, 2, 3
wow.
go the Bulldogs. In the fourth, we head to the fifth. 3-3 is our score. Port Angeles coming up.
Kids learn by watching adults, so consume cannabis out of sight of young people. and be a Mason County kid's greatest influence. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and the Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This broadcast on Mason Web TV powered by HCC is being made possible by Mason Health, United Community, Empowered People, Exceptional Health.
There's so many great things about life in Mason County, and Hood Canal Communications is proud to be one more. Headquartered in Union, we offer the speed and reliability your family needs, backed by hometown service and support. Whether you need to just check email or power all those Wi-Fi devices around your home, HCC has the right package for you. Stop by one of our friendly offices, call, or visit hcc.net to learn more. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected.
Back for the 5th inning.
And now stepping in is your pitcher, number 8, Heidi Lentz, who's had 5 strikeouts in a row.
First pitch to her is high for ball 1. Didn't she have a single back in the 3rd, Jerry?
She did.
Okay.
No. She is 0 for 2.
0 for 2.
Yeah, both times she's grounded out to the second baseman.
Okay, well, either way. Next pitch in there, ball 2.
Because you're usually right. That's why
Well,
I had to check it.
That's why I asked the question, because I've got this. My sheet is all messed up for Port Angeles. It is just a mess.
Okay.
I'm erasing things and putting. It's just okay. I thought I had her right. There's 3 balls to her. But boy, I was wrong. According to Jerry, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
3-3. I know one thing. We're in the 5th inning, and it's a 3-3 ball game.
You got it.
And the leadoff batter's up to bat. She's got 3 balls and no strikes. Pitch on the way. There's a strike 1 called. And we know it's Heidi. Lights in there for the big batter. That's all I know. People always ask me, what do you know? I say nothing. I know nothing. Pitch on the way, swing, and a fly ball. Center field, Markinson on the run. Nope, it's going to drop in for a base hit. Lights heading for second, and a hold up there. So there's a leadoff double, Jerry.
Well, now she has a hit.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Okay. And now up is
number 15.
Kennedy Roglin, number 15, the shortstop, who's 1 for 2, had a double back in the 1st.
Maybe that's what I wrote down. Like I said, this sheet is a mess. I'm just trying to keep in order, and it's not anywhere close to being in order.
And he expects me to have him?
What's your job here, Jerry? Come on.
Okay.
So nobody out, 1 on, runner at second base, pitch and a ground ball. That's going to be picked up there by Taylor Madison. Throw to second is late, and now on the play, runner goes down over to third base, and that is actually running in there is going to be Sophia Ritchie, Jerry, courtesy runner. And we have runners at the corners for Port Angeles.
Okay, now up is the cleanup hitter, Abby Kimball, and Abby is 0 for 2.
I'll have to go with that because I have no idea. That's why Jerry's here, to keep me straight. Here's pitch on the way. Kimball pulls back the bunt attempt. Runner goes to second base. So Roglin is on second base. And that was a strike to Kimball. So runners at second and third now for Port Angeles. Tie ball game at 3-3. We're in the top of the 5th inning. So 2 on, nobody out. Pitch on the way to Kimball. Shows bunt again. Bunts it right in front of the plate. It's foul ball, they call. And so we have 0-2 the count to Kimball.
Good call by the umpire?
Yeah, it was a good call. I'm surprised that Emily threw to first on that play. Kimball back in the batter's box. 0-2, pitch on the way, swing, and a fly ball right into the glove of the left fielder there. And coming in is Brown to score, giving Port Angeles a 4-3 lead, but there's 1 out. Kimball flew out, right, Jerry?
Yeah,
okay.
Kimball is out, because she flew out. Lexi Smith is now up, the first baseman, and she is 0 for 2.
Pitch on the way, and that's going to be high, ball 1. Kennedy Roglin remains on second base. 1 in, 1 out. Lexi Smith has 1 ball. Well, there's a swing and a miss, so 1-1 the count to Lexi Smith. Again, Roglin at second base, 1 in. One on, 1 out. Pitch on the way. There's a strike at the knees for 1 ball, 2 strikes in a 4-3 ball game.
I want to give Addison Roy some credit. She's done a pretty good job out there.
She has. Here comes a 1-2. Swing and a pop-up. Headed out there, shallow left field. And an out there and a throw to third, but the runner goes back to second base. So 2 away.
And now up is number 6, Mariah Treyman, the second baseman. And she had a triple back in the 4th and scored a run.
So 2 out, 1 in, 1 on. Runner at second base for Port Angeles. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss by Treyman.
Mariah's 1 for 2.
I'm not even going to ask Jerry because I have it down here for 2 for 2. But that's, like I said, I'm so far off, I don't even know. I do know she hit the triple, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1, swinging a ground ball to third. Pick up there by Ivy. Throw to first base just off the bag, and Roglin ends up at third base. Now there's going to be a discussion whether Crowley had her foot on the bag or not. She gave up her body, Jerry. She stretched out.
Oh, she did.
Yeah,
very nice
just
stretch.
off the bag, they say. So they're going to give Treyman a single there, beating up the throw. So runners at the corners now as Roglin is at third. 2 out.
And now up is your center fielder, Kia Stevens, and she is 1 for 2, has a single.
2 out, 2 on, 1 in. Pitch on the way. Runner goes, and Treyman makes her way to second base. So 2 runners in scoring position. The Riders are trying to add on here. They already have a 4-3 lead. 2 out, 2 on. Pitch on the way, swing and a pop-up. Infield. Ivy there grabs it, and that'll do it for the Riders here in the 5th. We head to the bottom of the frame. The Riders do get 1. They lead 4-3 on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD 3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back. Wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a down line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a down line, call PUD 3 at 360-426-8255.
What is gig speed internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you that it's marathoning movies on your favorite streaming service with no interruptions, or having the grandkids over and not hearing a single complaint about your Wi-Fi. In other words, it's just what you needed. Switch to gig speed internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-3 is our score. Port Angeles with the lead. North Mason coming up to bat.
Yeah, Port Angeles had 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on base in the top of the 5th. And now up is your second hitter in the lineup, number 8, Taylor Madison, who's done a nice job out there in the field as always. And she scored the first run for the Bulldogs by way of a walk, and then she got a steal.
So she'll step in to lead things off for North Mason here in their half of the 5th, trailing by a run. Here's first pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1. Lee's just having her way out there. What is there? She's got, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
She's
strikeouts?
got 5.
Well,
she's got 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, struck out the side last half inning. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss again by Madison.
And those are in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Madison 0-2 on the count to lead things off. Swing, check swing, just a bit high. Let's say that's ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Taylor Madison, the leadoff batter for North Mason here in the bottom of the 5th inning in a 4-3 ball game. It's with the high ball 2. 2-2 the count. Taylor walked out of the batting box like she really wanted to swing at that one. She'll step back in with the 2 balls, 2 strikes count. Pitch on the way, swing, and that one fouled it off the screen behind everybody. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. She'll step back in. Here's the 2-2 to Taylor Madison. Strike 3 called. Wow. So 1 away.
Wow, 6 strikeouts in a row.
Jenna Markison coming up, Jerry?
Yeah, this is interesting. Jenna Markison has gone on both times by way of a walk.
But that was with the previous pitcher. Let's see what she can do here. She's had her work there, done her work out there in center field as well. First pitch is high. Ball 1. See, now Jerry's holding his hand up because he forgot his hat.
She's had a good job out there in center field.
She's had her work. She's been all over the place. Here's the 1-0. There's strike 1 called, so 1-1 to count. 1 out, nobody on for North Mason here.
Yeah, Jenna's a senior, by the way, this year.
Yeah, she's been playing varsity since she was a freshman.
Yeah, she has.
So, yeah. Here's the 1-1 with 1 out. Swing and a miss. So 1-2 to Jenna Markison. So Markison steps back in with 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on for North Mason here in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch on the way, pops 1 up. That's out of play. Oh, I thought it was going to hit the John Deere out there, but it does not. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jenna Markison. It's coming down. Here's the 1-2 again to Jenna Markison. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th in a 4-3 ball game. Here's the pitch on the way. It's going to be high for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Jenna Markison steps back into the batter's box. Well, not quite. She'll get there. Here comes the 2-2. It's going to be ball 3, so the count is full to Jenna Markison. She can draw another walk here, Jerry.
Yeah. I think she will be swinging away, though.
Yeah, I think she's going to be swinging away. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on for North Mason. Jenna Markison waiting for that full count pitch from Heidi Litz. Pitch on the way, swing and a pop fly. Gonna drop in for a base hit. Markison heads to first base, rounds it there, and holds up. So that's her first hit of the ball game, Jerry.
Yeah, it's her first hit, but she's been on base 3 times. And now up is your cleanup hitter, Sydney Emily, the catcher. And she is 1 for 2, scored the 3rd run for North Mason back in the 3rd.
So 1 out, 1 on. Jenna Markison over at first base.
And she's 1 for 2.
Emily steps back in. First pitch from Heidi Lights. Swings and pops that one up. Little looper is going to be dropped in, or grabbed, however, by the first baseman and throw to first. And they got Markison out there to end the inning. They doubled him up with a catch by Lexi Smith, and coming over to Trey Band will cover, and that'll do it for the Bulldogs in their half of the 5th. We head to the 6th. Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Hi folks, Steve McAllen with Mason Web TV powered by HCC, your source for live high school sports with play-by-play. Once again, Mason Web TV is broadcasting select games every week this school year. Football, basketball, baseball, softball. We bring you all the action, from the kickoff to the final whistle, from the tip-off to the final buzzer, from the first pitch to the last out. Watch how it happens on Mason Web TV powered by HCC. Business owners, you can get in on the action as well. Go online, email, call, or text right now to find out how.
Kids can't tell when food or drinks include cannabis, especially when the package is fun and colorful. Remember to store in a safe place, out of sight and out of reach. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This broadcast on Mason Web TV powered by HCC is being made possible by Mason Health, United Community, Empowered People, Exceptional Health.
Close ball game so far, 4-3. Port Angeles with a 1-run lead, and they're coming up to bat, Jerry.
Ava Anna Sheehan, and she is 1 for 2, has a single, scored the first run, and then struck out the 4th inning.
If you could look at my sheet, Jerry, you'd be like, what are you looking at here, buddy? I don't have a clue. So here's the first pitch to Sheehan. Swing and a pop-up. Heading out there to shallow left. Madison out there on the grass to grab it, and that's 1 away.
And now up is number 13, the designated hitter, Morgan Politica. Is she still the designated hitter?
Good question, Jerry.
But she is 2 for 2, okay?
That's the more important place. There's a swing and a low pitch that drops into left field for a base hit. And Politica halfway to second will have to go back to first base. Is a good play.
That's her third hit, third single. And now up is number 4. And this is Lindsay Reed.
Yeah.
And Lindsay is 0 for 3.
So Politica at first base. His first pitch to Reed. She shows bunt, runner goes. Throw to second, and Politica is in there safely. Just underneath the tag. So Politica makes her way to second base. 1 out. And there's 1 strike on Lindsay Reed. Here's the first pitch to Reed. It's going to be high for ball 1. Or second pitch for Reed. Excuse me, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Reed. Morgan Politica over at second base. 1 out for Port Angeles. Top of the 6th, they're leading 4-3. Here's the next pitch on the way. Shows bunt. She gets it right there in the front of the home plate. Throw over to first. Reed is safe on first. And you've got Politica at third base kind of dancing around there. And they're making sure that the runners hold. There's going to be a timeout called here. Yes, Coach Valley wants to talk something over here with the home plate umpire. So we're going to decide. I think possibly Politica took off early. I think that's what he's saying. Valley's saying. But I don't know. And that's what's being discussed. We've had a couple of conferences in this ballgame. Yeah. Everybody's safe now, so yep. So Reed is at... I'm sorry, that's not Reed. That's Reed. Yes, it is 4. First base, Politica at third base. 1 out.
And now up is your pitcher, Heidi Leitz. And Heidi is 1 for 3, had a double back in the 5th and scored a run, and has had an excellent pitching game.
Okay. I agree. Here's first pitch to her. She pulls, takes a strike on the play. However, Reed heads to second base. So 2 runners in scoring position for Port Angeles, with Reed at second and Politica at third. And the batter is Heidi Leitz with the 0-1 count. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss by Leitz. 0-2. Again, Politic at third and Reed at second. One out. Top of the 6th inning, 4-3 is our score. And Port Angeles with the lead in at bat. Looking to add on here. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a pop fly, heading over to left field. Carson comes in, grabs it for the out, and the runners hold, so that's 2 away.
A nice job of her running it in a little bit when she saw that the runner was hesitating. And now up is number 15, Kennedy Rogland, the shortstop, and she's 2 for 3, a double and a single.
So still 2 runners on base, 2 out. Swing and a pop fly center field. Markison gets under it, gets it, and that'll end the inning. The Riders leave 2 out there. Still 4-3. Head to the bottom of the 6th. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
What is fiber internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you it's just internet. Internet that can do whatever you need. Crystal clear video chats with the family, smooth streaming of your favorite shows, uploading a ton of vacation photos in an instant. Even all of the above, all at once. Switch to fiber internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months of gig speed service. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
Kids learn by watching adults, so consume cannabis out of sight of young people. And be a Mason County kid's greatest influence. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and the Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This presentation on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is being brought to you by Mason County Public Utility District Number 1, Washington State's first public utility district, proudly serving the Hood Canal in Mason County since 1935.
And we're back here for the bottom of the 6th inning, 4-3. Port Angeles with the lead. North Mason coming up, Jerry.
Yeah, leading off for North Mason will be Aubrey Dunham. And Aubrey has a good eye. She's 0 for 0.
She's been on base twice with 2 walks.
Yeah.
That's why I just think it needs to count as something more than just the O. The O. She was at bat.
I totally agree.
But, you know, the purists in the game say that's not true because it's on the pitcher, not the batter. I disagree, especially when they work a count full and come back or take 4 balls.
But it does affect your on-base percentage.
That's true. I get it, you know, okay. And I'm not a purist when it comes to the game. I just know that Aubrey's tall.
I'm glad to see that she's playing.
Here's a pitch on the way. Going to be low for ball 1. I think that might be part of it. She's so tall.
Yeah?
They're not used to pitching to somebody who's 6+. Steps in with a 1 ball, no strikes count. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count to Aubrey Dunham. Leading things off for North Mason, bottom of the 6th, trailing 4-3. Again, want to apologize for no scoreboard on the screen. I forgot the proper equipment. Here's the pitch on the way. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. In a 4-3 game. Leadoff batter for North Mason here. And Aubrey Dunham. Designated player today. Here's a pitch on the way. That's going to be low for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Aubrey Dunham. Think she's going to swing at this one, Jerry?
No.
No. Okay. Jerry's
I
usually
don't think so.
Jerry's pretty close to. He knows what they're doing. It's kind of amazing sometimes. Here's a pitch on the way. There's strike 2 called. He was right again. How many times do I say that? Jerry was right again.
This is the first game. This is true.
The count goes full to Aubrey Dunham. Leading things off for North Mason here, 6th inning swing, and that one's fouled off. And straight back against the wall. So the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. For Aubrey. Honestly, I can't wait till she gets full strength. And
I can't either. I think she'll be awesome.
Here's the 3-2. Strike 3 called. And Aubrey's down looking to one away for North Mason.
And now up is Kalani Ivy. She is the third baseman, number 17. She's 0 for 2.
And she'll step in with one out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Port Angeles leading 4-3. North Mason needs to rally here. It's been a pretty close ball game.
Very close. Very
Pitch
good
on the
game.
way. It's going to be low and away, ball 1.
That's gone fairly fast, too.
You know, you always say that. I never think about that.
The last game we had was really quick.
So 1 ball, no strikes to Ivy. Kalani Ivy waits for the 1-0. Swings and misses at the next pitch. It's 1-1.
It seems like it's gone fast.
You know, Jerry, I never look at the time. I'm just looking. There's no time involved in baseball. It's just what happens. Or softball. Here is the 1-1 to Kalani Ivy. Takes strike 2, so 1-2 with 1 out. Nobody on for North Mason here. Trailing Port Angeles 4-3. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kalani Ivy. Here's the pitch from Waits. Swing and a miss, and that's another strikeout. So 2 down for North Mason. And Adriana Crawley comes up. Jerry?
Yeah, and Adriana Crawley has a single back in the second and struck out in the third and scored the second run for North Mason.
There's first pitch to Crawley. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 2 out, nobody on for North Mason. Trailing 4-3.
Yeah, and Heidi Lights has 8 strikeouts so far.
Yeah, she came in what, the third?
Yes.
Okay, here's a pitch on the way. Swing and a fly ball. That's going to drop into left field for a base hit. Crowley rounds first and heads back to the bag. So 1 on, 2 out.
And now up is number 1, the pitcher, Addison Roy, who's had a good pitching outing tonight. I've been pretty pleased.
I have her down for striking out twice here, Jerry. Is that right?
Yeah, she has struck out. She's over 2. You're right.
I'm just looking at it. I mean, I don't know if I'm accurate, but
no, you are.
Jerry is. So that's why I asked the question of Jerry. Here's the first pitch to Roy. Swing and a miss there. And there's 0-1 for Addison Roy. 2 out, 1 on. Adriana Crawley at first base. 4-3 ball game. Port Angeles with the lead. North Mason at bat. Here's the 0-1. It's going to be 1-1 to Addison Roy now. Looks like the infield's playing in, Jerry, except for short. Here's the 1-1 to Roy. Strike, throw to first, and Crowley got back just in time. She's safe there, so 1 ball, 2 strikes to Roy. Timeout called by the home plate umpire as they're letting Adriana get some dirt off her, out of her glove, I think. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Addison Roy. 2 out, 1 on, runner at first in Adriana Crawley. 4-3 ball game. Here is the pitch on the way. Swing and a fly ball. That's headed to right field. Drops in for a base hit. Crawley rounds second. Heads for third. Roy heading for second. Now Crawley heading to home. Gets in there. Ties the ball game. And there's an RBI double for Addison Roy. That tied it at 4, Jerry.
Yeah, 2 hits in a row. A single by Crowley and now a double by Addison Roy. And that scored, like you said, Adriana Crowley. We got a new ball game.
Yep, 4-all now. And here's
and now up is number 9, and this is Madeline Smith, and Madeline is 0 for 2.
So a courtesy runner for Roy, and that will be Michaela Minnis over at second base now.
And you asked me if they were getting to the pitcher. Well, now maybe I better change my
Well,
answer.
maybe you will, but that was a few batters ago, a few strikeouts ago. So, you make contact, you can see what happens.
Yeah.
So Smith, Madeline Smith will step in, wait for the first pitch from Lights. Takes ball 1. And you've got Michaela Minnis on second base. 1 in, tie ball game at 4, bottom of the 6th inning. At bat, Madeline Smith, 2 out, pitch on the way. Strike 1 called, so 1-1 the count, 2 out, 1 on, 1 in.
And Addison Roy sure helped her cause.
She sure did. With an RBI double, here is a 1-1 pitch to Smith. That's going to be, oh boy, strike at the knees.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, boy, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Madeline Smith. 2 out, 1 on. Minnis at second base, pitch on the way. It's going to be high for ball 2. 2-2 the count. To Madeline Smith. Got to tell you, Jerry, this is a different team than I saw last week against Olympic.
Yeah,
North
sounds
Mason,
like it.
Here's the 2-2. High and away. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Smith.
Well,
2
look
out.
at their record.
Yeah.
6-0 in league,
Yeah.
9-1. Had a close
Overall.
game, though.
Yeah. Here's the 3-2. I'm talking about North Mason here. That's what I'm talking about. Here's a pitch on the way. Strike 3 called. Oh, boy. Bulldogs do get 1, leave 1. We're tied at 4. Heading to the 7th. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
With all the question marks and uncertainty that surrounds today's real estate market, it is nice to know that there is a local team that has the experience with all types of markets to ensure you make a sound decision, whether selling or buying. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has been a staple in the Mason County community for over 40 years. Feel free to reach out to Jeff, Andy, Chrissy, or Laura with any real estate questions that you may have. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD 3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back, wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a downed line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a downed line, call PUD 3 at 360-426-8255.
7th inning, Jerry, top of the 7th. 4-4 ball game. Port Angeles coming up.
Yeah, Abby Kimball is the catcher, number 30, and she is 0 for 3. But I did tell Mr. Valley, the coach for North Mason, that I was here tonight to bring good luck.
Okay, we'll see if that's right. So Kimball will lead things off for Port Angeles. Tie ball game at 4, top of the 7th. Pitch on the way. Swing and a fly ball. That's, boy, got a lot of distance, Jerry, but it's foul. Boy, did she knock that one, Jerry. Wow. But it goes foul, so 0-1 to Kimball. Jerry doesn't even look at the foul balls. He just pays attention to the field.
Yeah. Being a cleanup hitter, I'm sure she has some power.
Yeah. Just not so much today.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1. Going to be high and away. Ball 1, 1-1 to Kimball. Abby Kimball. She's played a decent game behind home plate, hasn't she, Jerry? She'll do her routine, wait for the 1-1 from Roy, who's gone the distance. Check swing there, strike 2 called. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kimball. Roy should be pretty jacked right now for after her single or double.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna get out of this inning. Here's the 1-2. That's gonna be ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Abby Kimball. Alexi Smith is on deck for Port Angeles. Here's a 2 ball, 2 strike pitch to Abby Kimball. Gonna be ball 3, so 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kimball. Leadoff batter for Port Angeles here. 4-4, top of the 7th. And a full count for Kimball. Here's the pitch from Madison Roy. Swing and a ground ball. Gets by the third baseman into left field. Kimball rounds first, heads for second. And she's got a stand-up, well, not stand-up, slides in their second base, but a leadoff double.
Yeah, that was sharply hit, right?
Just past.
Inside,
Yeah,
past the
Kalani
third baseman.
Ivy just couldn't get her glove on it quick enough, and it got into left field.
And now up is Lexi Smith, the first baseman, and she is 0 for 3.
I can't see who the courtesy runner is for Kimball, Jerry. I'm going to say I'm wrong. Either way, I'm wrong. It's going to be Addison Richard. Addison Richard is the courtesy runner at second base. So Richard's at second base for Kimball after the leadoff double. And here's Lexi Smith waiting for the first pitch from Roy. Shows bunt, misses. There's a strike called, and Richard is kind of nonchalantly getting back to second base. So 0-1 to Lexi Smith.
I like what Sydney Emily's doing out there, too, at catcher. She's doing a pretty good job.
Here's the 0-1. Just going to pop that one up. That one's out of play over everybody's head. Onto the berm. So 0-2 to Smith. Nobody out, one on. Runner at second base in Addison Richard. Lexi Smith, where's my mind? Lexi Smith is the batter. She has no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball, that's going to be scooped up by Taylor. Throw over to first. Out there, throw to third. They got her. No, she said she
got around it.
Yeah, got around the tag. Well, 1 out at first base, and Richard is at third.
I thought they were going to get her, but she got around it a little bit.
It was very close. Okay.
And now up is number 6, the second baseman, Mariah Traban. Mariah is 2 for 3, has a triple, has a single.
First pitch to Traban is a line drive right back to Roy, who just looked at first base, and there's 2 out, and didn't realize she should have gone to third instead, but just smart play either way. So there's a 2 away for Port Angeles, but we do have a runner. They do still have a runner at third in Addison Richard. And here's number 1.
Yeah, number 1, the center fielder, Makia Stevens, and she is 0 for 3.
Takes ball 1. 2 out, 1 on, 4-4 ball game. Top of the 7th. Port Angeles at bat. Go ahead run at third base. Here's the 1 out. There's a ground ball into left field, and Richard comes in to score, making it 5-4. And Stevens is safe at first base, no throw to first. So 1 in, 1 on, 2 out.
And now up is Ava Anna Sheehan, and she is 1 for 3. Had a single and scored back in the third.
So it's a 5-4 ball game. Port Angeles with the lead. There's a fly ball left field over the glove of Kennedy Carson. Here comes 1 run. Another run comes in. They got her. They didn't get her as a ball again pops out as Sheehan is safe at third base, and another run comes in. So 2 runs are in, 2 out, and it's a 6-4 ball game.
And that was Keela Stevens scoring. And that was a double by Ava. And an RBI for her. And now up is number 13, Morgan Politica. And Morgan is 3 for 3.
I'll take your word for it, Jerry. My sheet is all messed up. I said that before. Little
what's that?
Never mind, Jerry. Little meeting in the middle of the field in the pitching circle.
Oh, did I repeat something?
No. I'm just saying I have to take your word for it.
Oh, okay.
2 out, 2 in, 1 on. A runner at third base.
Yeah, 3 for 3 for Morgan.
Sheehan. Here's the first pitch to Morgan Politica. It's going to be low for ball 1. Two in, 2 out, 1 on. Top of the 7th is 6-4. Port Angeles has taken back the lead. Here's the 1-0. There's a strike called, so 1-1 the count.
Yeah, Ava Anna Sheehan is on third base for Port Angeles.
Here's the 1-1 to Politica. Morgan swings and fouls one over everybody's head into the berm behind us, and it's 1-2 with 2 out and 1 on, 2 in for Port Angeles. 6-4 our score, top of the 7th.
Yeah, Port Angeles has had 3 hits in this inning.
Here's the next pitch on the way. It's going to be ball 2, so 2-2 the count. Ava Ann Sheehan just very aware of where the ball is. She's ready to run each time. I just keep looking at her at third base. Port Angeles has a 2-run lead. Here's the 2-2 to Morgan Politica. There's strike 3 called, and that'll do it for the inning, but the Riders take a 6-4 lead. Head to the bottom of the 7th. North Mason coming up. It's Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
What is gig speed internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you that it's marathoning movies on your favorite streaming service with no interruptions, or having the grandkids over and not hearing a single complaint about your Wi-Fi. In other words, it's just what you needed. Switch to gig speed internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
Mason County is a very special place. When you're looking for sound real estate advice, pick the team that has called Mason County home for 5 generations. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate is always thrilled to help you buy or sell real estate in our area. Whether it is Hood Canal, Harstein Island, Matlock, Tahuya, South Puget Sound, or Shelton, the Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has the experience you can trust. Remember, when it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
So we head to the bottom of the 7th inning of play. 6-4 Port Angeles with the lead in the last 3 outs for the Bulldogs. And Kennedy Carson.
Some runners on.
Yeah, Kennedy Carson is the leadoff batter.
Yeah, and she is 1 for 3. Has a single back in the 2nd inning, Diedrich.
First pitch to her. Going to be low and away for ball 1. Kennedy Carson. Steps back in. Here's the 1-0. Still low and away for ball 2. So Leitz walks to the back of the pitching circle. Waits for the sign. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a pop-up. It's headed over to shallow. Actually, it's midway out there in right field. And the grab there. Is that Sheehan? It is Sheehan for the out, so 1 away.
And now up is your shortstop, number 8, Taylor Madison. And Taylor scored the first run, is 0 for 2, 0 for 2, has a walk.
Here's the first pitch to Taylor Madison. High, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out, 1 on for North Mason here, trailing 6-4 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Madison back in the batter's box. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner, 1-1. 1 out, nobody on for North Mason. 1 out. And a 1-1 count. Here's the next pitch on the way from Litz. Swing and a miss by Madison. 1-2 the count. Madison back in the batter's box. Waits for the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a pop fly. That's hooking foul into the bullpen there on the first baseline. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on for North Mason here, trailing Port Angeles 6-4. Bottom of the 7th inning. Taylor Madison has 1 ball, 2 strikes on her count. 1 out. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and another foul off behind the screen. So 1 ball, 2 strikes remains the count. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, 1 out in a 6-4 ball game. Here's a ball 2, so 2-2 the count to Taylor Madison. Bulldogs need some base runners here. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 called. It's a 2 away for North Mason. Here comes Jenna Markison.
Yeah, and she has had a good night. She is 1 for 1 and has been on base all 3 times, 2 walks.
2 out, nobody on for North Mason. Bulldogs trailing 6-4. There's ball 1. First the pitch was a ball, so 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Looks like Jenna was a little ahead on that pitch, Jerry. A little off speed from Leitz. 1-1 is the count. 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th. 6-4 is our score. Port Angeles with the lead. North Mason at bat. Here's the 1-1. High, ball 2. 2-1 the count to Jenna Markison. Lefty into her wind up here. Count again is 2 balls, 1 strike. Strike down the middle of the plate.
Wow.
2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on for North Mason here. Bottom of the 7th trailing. 6-4.
Need a couple runners.
Here's the 2-2 to Jenna Markison. Swing and a miss, and that is that, Jerry. So Port Angeles comes back from, 2 runs down early and wins 6-4. We'll take a timeout. Jerry's got some totals for you. We'll come back. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Neighbors help each other. It's how community works, and it's how we do business at Hood Canal Communications. We know you count on us for value-priced internet, TV, and phone service, backed by friendly local support. Your hard-earned dollars stay right here as we invest in our community, our people, and smart technology. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected while being a good neighbor.
Mason County is a very special place. When you're looking for sound real estate advice, pick the team that has called Mason County home for 5 generations. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate is always thrilled to help you buy or sell real estate in our area. Whether it is Hood Canal, Harstein Island, Matlock, Tahuya, South Puget Sound, or Shelton, the Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has the experience you can trust. Remember, when it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD 3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back, wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a downed line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a downed line, call PUD 3 at 360-426-8255.
Hi folks, Diedrich Allen with Mason Web TV powered by HCC, your source for live high school sports with play-by-play. Once again, Mason Web TV is broadcasting select games every week this school year. Football, basketball, baseball, softball. We bring you all the action, from the kickoff to the final whistle, from the tip-off to the final buzzer, from the first pitch to the last out. Watch how it happens on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC. Business owners, you can get in on the action as well. Go online, email, call, or text right now to find out how.
Well, it's a final here in Belfair. The Port Angeles Roughriders come from behind and take care of business and beat the North Mason Bulldogs 6-4. Jerry, you have some totals for us?
I do, Diedrich. For Port Angeles, they had no errors. They had 6 runs on 14 hits, and they left 8 people on base. They had 5 hitters with 2 hits or more. Kendi Rogland had 2 hits. Mariah Treban had 2 hits. Makia Stevens had 2 hits. Ava Anna Sheehan had 2 hits. And Morgan Politica had 3 hits. So you add that up, that's 14 hits altogether. Now, for North Mason, they had 4 runs on 6 hits. I don't have any errors, but I think I might have missed one there. For Kendi Carson had a hit, a single. Jenna Markison had a hit and a couple walks. Sydney Emily had was 1 for 3. And Aubrey didn't have any hits, but she got 2 walks. Also, Adriana Crowley was 2 for 3. And Addison Roy had a double, an RBI that helped her cause at the time to make it 4-4 going into the top of the 7th. So if you add those totals up, they had 6 hits, left 5 on base. I don't have any errors, but, you know, there's nothing to check my
No, not right away, but it's okay, Jerry. I think you did a perfect job as usual.
Yeah, well, thank you, Diedrich. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Anything else?
It was a good game.
It was a fun game. A lot different than the one I did on last week for North Mason, but yeah.
And the other thing, too, you were asking about what's a typical game, how long does that last? And usually about an hour and 45 minutes, which is what this game lasted. So.
Well, okay, so.
A lot of strikeouts.
Yeah,
and I've got to emphasize that.
Yeah.
Look at all the strikeouts by Heidi Leitz. Leitz. And I think she had 9 strikeouts. Let's see, 2. I can add them up real quick.
Yeah,
2,
go for
3,
it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 strikeouts, okay. And that was in what?
About
not
3.5.
3.5, yeah. 3.5 innings. That's pretty impressive for her. Yeah. All right, so next up for the Bulldogs, they have a quick turnaround. They're hosting Swim tomorrow, and then on Thursday they play the Wolves again, but on the road. The Riders' next game is Thursday at home against Bainbridge Island. Our next broadcast is Wednesday when the Shelton baseball team hosts Tumwater. Our next North Mason broadcast is May 6th when the Bulldog baseball team hosts Olympic. We'll be back in this spot right here May 8th for the girls from Belfair's final home game of the season against Bainbridge Island. I'm going to throw in some inside information. The current superintendent for North Mason Schools, the outgoing superintendent, Dana Rosenbach, she'll be throwing out the first pitch in the final home game. I'm told. That's what I'm told. Yeah. You have anything else to add there, Jerry?
I don't, but thank you for letting me come up tonight with you.
Of course. And that will do it for us in Belfair. Final score again, Port Angeles 6, North Mason 4. We'll talk to you on Wednesday from Shelton. You've been watching High School Sports on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
The preceding presentation on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, has been brought to you by Hood Canal Communications, committed to providing quality services that exceed customer expectations in voice, video, data, and customer service, keeping our community connected since 1934. Mason County Public Health and Human Services Prevention Education Partners Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition. Mason PUD 3, connecting our community with safe, reliable, economical, and sustainable services 24/7. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge. Mason County Public Utility District Number 1, Washington State's first public utility district, proudly serving the Hood Canal in Mason County since 1935. And Mason Health, united community, empowered people, exceptional health.
Thanks for watching Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.